All right, my listener, what's up, my listeners? All right, everybody, welcome back to Grit and Greasy, the podcast where we dive into the raw, real world of the shop life. I'm your host, Isaiah, your guide through the grit and grease. And let's be honest, the chaos of the automotive world. And let's be honest, the chaos of the automotive world. Today's episode is for the rookies. We're talking about how to not just survive, but thrive your first year as a tech. Whether you're spending riches on your first all change or trying to figure out what Scan 2 actually does this one is for you. Let's get into it. So let's kick things off by addressing the elephant in the room, the learning curve. Your first year in the shop is going to test you. There's tons to learn, and it can feel like overwhelming. Trust me, we've all been there. And I'm looking forward to my first 3 months, my first up and coming 3 months in the shop. Once I get my license to do it, I'll be working at a garage. And I already feel like I'm going to be drowning in information, which all goes in with how in which car in love with and information which all goes in which car, how tight is too tight, or on the drain plug, and don't even get me started. Learning how to mount tires properly is going to be a fun learning curve for me. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's all about showing up with the right mindset. Be patient with yourself, and you're not expected to know everything on day one. Your goal is to progress. Not perfection. Every mistake is a lesson. Just make sure you don't make the same mistake twice. Now let's talk about asking questions. There's no shame the best techs out there got good by being curious and learning from their mistakes. If you're not sure about something, ask. You'll save yourself a lot of headaches and probably some money too. Now let's shift gears. We're gonna talk about something that doesn't get enough attention: communication and teamwork. Being a good automotive tech isn't just about turning wrenches. It's about how to work with others. Picture this: a service writer brings you a job, but the description is vague. Customer says something feels off. That's where communication comes in. Ask questions, get details, and make sure you're on the same page. It saves time and avoids headaches later. And then teamwork. It, um, and then teamwork. Let me tell you, shops run on it. You need help with a stubborn bolt or speakers on a diagnosis. Your coworkers are your lifeline. But teamwork is two ways to make to as a two-way street. Don't just give us if someone is swamped and you've got a minute, lend them a hand. Lend a hand. People notice that stuff, and it builds trust. So now we're gonna next on our next subject. Let's talk about tools. If you've been in the shop for a little while, you've probably built up a starter kit, tire gauges, wrenches, all filter tools, all the base. But now you're ready to level up. So what's next? My recommendation: invest in a good multimeter for our electrical work. And trust me, electrical problems can come more often than you think. Second, start looking at a scan tool, because once you've been moved up from being a lube tire tech, you're going to move into the mechanic apprenticeship. And you want to have a good. You don't need the most expensive one right away, but have a reliable code reader that can save you a ton of time. It makes you look good when you can diagnose something quickly. One thing that I highly, save for high quality. One more thing, save for high quality torque, which you need it for precision jobs that'll last you a long time, and if you take care of it. And remember, budget wisely. You don't need the shiny $3,000 toolbox right now. Focus on building a functional setup. That flashy stuff can come later. Now let's get real. The first year isn't all about smooth sailing. Long hours, tough days, steep learning. Steep learning curves can take their toll. So how do you stay motivated? Find the pride in small victories. Maybe it's mounting your first tire without scratching a rim, or nailing an oil change in a record time. Celebrate those moments. They're proof that you're improving. Second, I'm preaching this on every video, folks. Set goals. Think about where you want to be in a year to 5 years, or even 10 years. Do you want to get ASC certified? Move up to diagnostics. Have a clear vision. Can keep you focused on what when things get tough. And finally, don't forget why you started. Why it's the love for cars, of challenge of fixing things, or just the satisfaction of a job done. Hold on to that passion. It'll carry you through the rough days. And before we wrap up, I want to share a quick story from one of my a good buddy of mine that's in the automotive industry. Jason, he started out as a level zero tech for the local Walmart in my state, doing oil changes, tires, and batteries. And now Jason is the manager for the shop and the shop foreman. So he's running the garage now. He's hustling, man. So Jason, my brother, I'm proud of you, dude. When I first met, when I first got introduced, met Jason, folks, I can tell he was going to be a little more, a lot, really productive in the garage. He leads his crew like a professional automotive, shop owner. Um, so in love. And if y'all have any stories you want to share from your first week on the job, submit them down in the comments. And that's what your first year is all about: messing up and learning and getting better. So here's my final thoughts: you're gonna have hard days, but don't let them define you. Keep showing up, keep learning, and keep turning those wrenches. Thanks for listening to Greasy. If you've got any questions or stories you want to share for your first year, on your first year struggles, hit me up on YouTube and our social medias, which will be starting up here soon. Until next time, stay greasy, everybody. Thank y'all for listening. This is Zaya signing off.